It's Coast to Coast with Mike, your host. It's the YouTube show that helps you cash in most. His track record's phenom, his cashing rate is the bomb, and it's all brought to you by RacingDudes.com. And now, the host of your show, Mike Somich.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Coast to Coast for Friday, June 22nd, 2018. I'm your host, Mike Somich. We're looking forward to today. It's going to be a fun one. We got a couple good races. Ascot Day 4 is going on today, so we got that racing going on this morning. We're going to talk a little bit more about the stakes over the weekend. Yesterday was awesome. Aaron had the experience of getting a horse into the winner's circle, so I know he was pumped, and Magic got absolutely hosed by a photo. If you haven't checked it out, look at the photo from the 7th at Santa Anita yesterday. Lost by that much. So close. Anyway, let's jump into the preview. Blinkers on. All right, let's take a look ahead to the weekend. We've got two Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in races this weekend. The first is the Diamond Jubilee over at Royal Ascot on Saturday morning. It's the last day of Royal Ascot's meet, so if you haven't had a chance to check it out, make sure that you do. The second Breeders' Cup win-in-your-in race is the Takarazuka Kirin 11-furlong race on the turf in Japan on Sunday morning. You've got literally the entire field. I think half the field is sired by Deep Impact. Almost everyone's got some bloodlines of Sunday Silence. So it's always a fun race to check that out. 12-horse field over in Japan running for a Breeders' Cup spot. Here in the U.S., we've got some big graded races. We've got the Ohio Derby, which Halterman's going to go into in depth tomorrow on Coast to Coast. So I'm not going to talk too much about it today, but it's always a fun race for the 3-year-olds that weren't quite good enough to win one of the Triple Crown races, or the ones who are trying to improve to get into the big 3-year-old races later this fall. The race I'm most excited about is the Grade 2 San Carlos. It's running at Santa Anita. It's the 11th race on Saturday. You've got a 9-5 morning line favorite in American Anthem, but I'm looking forward to Dabster, who's 4-1 on the morning line. It's his first race back as a 4-year-old. Only missed his City of Light by a length in a Grade 1 last year, and I think he's got a chance to really be one of the elite sprinters this year. So you've got a ton of talent there. It's a $1 million horse out of Curlin, trained by Bob Baffert. And if he's able to take a step forward here in a Grade 2 and then take a step forward again, I think it's a horse that can compete with your XY Jets, your Mind Your Biscuits, your Roy H's in that sprint division, which is already loaded on the West Coast. So I'm looking forward to seeing Dabster's debut. That'll be the 11th race at Santa Anita, the Grade 2 San Carlos. Finally, Canterbury Park tomorrow. Don't forget your small track, people. We've got 6 races going on that are all stakes out there. They're going to have some cool pick 5 sequences, pick 4 sequences. So throw a couple bucks at those. It's always fun when you have these small tracks doing these big days. But we know why you're here. You want some picks. So without further ado, let's go coast to coast. Halterman, kick us off.
What is up, everyone, and thank you, Mike, for having me on once again for Coast to Coast. We're talking Friday at Belmont Park, the 8th race. It's an allowance going 6 furlongs, and I am pumped for this race because the number 5, Stall Walking Dude, makes his 2018 debut. This is one of my favorite horses in training. He is just a beast of a horse. He's won nice races all over the New York circuit, and he's just competitive every time he runs. So I'm going to keep it short, simple, and sweet on this edition of Coast to Coast for me. The 5, Stall Walking Dude, is going to be my top choice. If he shows up with anything close to his best race, look out. It is over. He will dominate these fools. But he is coming in off of a little bit of a layoff, so that is a little scary. So let's look at the 2 Life in Shambles to maybe get up for a piece of it at a price at 12-1. This is a very consistent horse. He's always right around there, right around 2nd, 3rd, or 4th by the time they hit the wire. 12-1 gets Javier Castellano for the first time. Maybe he will make a little bit of an impact in the race. Also, you've got to look at the coupled entry of I Love Lulu and Forge. Look out for these two. They've been running well. Also, number 4, Wonderful Light, has ran well recently as well. So, with 2 straight wins. So, it's a competitive race. If Stall Walking Dude does not show up, but I think he is going to show up a big race, $10 to win on Stall Walking Dude for me.
All right, now over at Santa Anita, we're going to take a look at the first race. It's a $50,000 allowance going down the hill, 6.5 furlongs. So this is an interesting race to me because I think you've got some horses that could add some value. It's a pretty even race. You're going to have all 7 betting interests pretty close to the same odds. I'm going to go to the 4-horse Honeymoon's Over as my top pick. I like the fact that O'Neill is putting blinkers back on this horse, second time down the hill at this level. Should show a little more speed in a race that doesn't have a ton of pace. I think Honeymoon's Over is going to sit right behind the lead, and Bejarano is going to be able to wheel her outside of those horses right out of the pocket and be able to win it down the stretch. I like the fact that she has a race over this turf course last time out. And also that the fact that she's improved the last 3 times, including bumping up, going a mile on the turf, and then again going the 6.5 furlongs on the turf, the most recent effort. For second place, I'm going to the 6 horse, Lauren's Lad. This is another one where getting back down the hill, it seemed to improve. It was the first time in the Jacobson barn, so you get a second time Jacobson barn, second time in a row down the hill. I think this horse will also sit a nice trip. I kind of like the horses that are going to be stalking here today, so I think that's a good horse to look at for second. For third, I'm going to go to the outside, the morning line favorite, Wild Lando. Wild Lando has not touched this course yet, and that's one of the big knocks for me. Last time out of 5.5, broke its maiden in a $54,000 maiden special weight for state breds. I like the fact that it's going to be able to show some speed and that it's won there, but the fact that it hasn't gone over the turf is something that concerns me. For fourth, I'm going to go to the other O'Neill horse, Flip the Coin Jan, the 5 horse. I've talked about this before. I love it when you have a trainer with 2 horses in the same race. I think you really have to play both if you like one of them. And since I like the 4, Honeymoon's Over, the 5 is a must-use to me. So for my $10, I'm going to play a Exact the Box. I'm going to play the 4 with the 6-7 for $1, and then I'll play a try the 4 over the 5-6-7. That'll cost $6 for a total of $10. Good luck today, everybody. Thank you very much for watching Coast to Coast. We'll be back tomorrow and Sunday, and we hopefully will have some success. Don't forget to check out racingdudes.com. It's a lot of fun. We have got some articles, race previews, race reviews, and some free picks up there. Finally, don't forget to check out Royal Ascot on Saturday. It's the final day of the meet. And Sunday, mandatory payout, last day at Santa Anita. So make sure you're playing on Sunday over there as well.
Thanks for watching Coast to Coast, brought to you by racingdudes.com. I was your host, Mike Somich. You can follow me on Twitter at Samobomb18. And you can follow the Racing Dudes at racing_dudes. Head over to racingdudes.com for all the latest news, articles, free picks, and premium selections. Don't forget to check out the podcast, Blinkers Off, available twice a week on iTunes, SoundCloud, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.